Welcome to the Horse Connection podcast with Natasha Albert and Emma Beasley, where we will be exploring how we can create harmonious partnerships with horses. We'll chat about building our emotional intelligence and practicing holistic horsemanship with horses as our guides. So if you're looking for authentic connection to yourself and horses, this is the place for you. Let's get started.
Okay, so we're going to get into a nice big juicy one today. So we're going to have a talk about what horses teach us, what we can learn from horses. And we've just had a little 5-minute convo, which was awesome. And then we went, oh no, we haven't pressed record.
Absolutely.
So we're going to try and rewind that for you all. So the big topic, I guess, within this idea for us is the sense that horses' ability to help us look at where we are in ourselves is...
And they can really remind us about like our inner truth and who we really are.
Yeah.
Because they're in such an authentic place themselves. And they're, you know, in such a present place as well.
Yeah.
So by being in the present, I mean, you know, they're not stressing about what happened, you know, yesterday or anticipating the future. They're really present here right now, and they really meet us where we are right now.
Yeah. Which can be a good thing and a bad thing, because if we're in a place where we're not, we're maybe in our flight system and we're out of our bodies, very often you see the horse mirror that, respond to it in the way they would with a herd member that was telling them, we need to get the hell out of here. So in terms of what they can reflect back on us, I guess, it can be really useful feedback for where we are in our bodies.
But I mean, also I think even if it's not particularly like, it's an uncomfortable emotion, that to me is something really helpful.
Yeah.
Because they're still like responding to what's going on for us. And if we never kind of knew that, then we wouldn't be able to act on it and have that as a message to change something or do something. So they really kind of, for me, horses like really call me up on my own stuff.
Yeah.
All the time.
Very often.
And they really like say, oh, you know, today, you know, you need a bit more help with XYZ, boundary setting. How are you leading yourself today? Or, you know, you're feeling really exhausted right now. And I'm, you know, nudging you a bit, like get back into your body.
Yeah.
Or, you know, and it's sometimes it's a really big wake-up call for me. You know, I work with horses every day, I partner and I'm friends with horses every day, and they're always teaching me something about
I'm
myself.
Exactly the same.
They're reminding me about myself.
Sometimes I find as well that I can go along thinking, like with my own horses, I can think I'm in one place. So, you know, I'll be, for example, I'll go into the yard to sort them out, and be like, okay, yeah, I'm fine today. I'm bright and breezy. I'm happy. I'm there. And very often it's, you know, my Spanish horse will come up to me and just completely not respond to me in the way that I would expect him to. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'm not bright, you know. And then I sort of reflect on how am in how I really feel, as opposed to my, you know, outwardly bright and breezy. I'm like, oh no, I do have some, you know, whatever it might be, something, you know, a difficult moment or whatever. And so it's really useful to work through those emotions, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think, you know, we were talking about how quite often it's such a human quality or temptation to want to, and you can say this word much better than me, anthropomorphise and, you know, project our own stuff onto horses. Yeah. You know, even saying like, oh, good boy or good girl, rather than, you know, these horses, for me, sometimes they've got so much amazing wisdom rather than like wise woman or, you know. It's really kind of seeing and honouring our horses and seeing them in their own right as well.
Yeah, completely, as individual beings.
And sometimes it's really non-intentional, isn't it? It's like, oh, your horsey mum, you've got a great
mum.
You know,
I say it all the time, you know, this horse's mum, and
yeah.
because it's like, I think we have that relationship of, it goes back to that connection piece, doesn't it, of being you want that relationship with your horse. You want to feel like they do need you or want to be with you,
and that can teach us something in itself, can't it? About
really can.
Connection and relationship and dependency and recognizing ourself in our own right and their self and their own right, but also are we caregivers? Are we guardians? So I think however we view our relationships with each other or with horses, it's just really recognizing individuality and each other in our own right, really, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's an important point because there's a very, very much sort of a movement of looking to the horse to teach us something,
like as an oracle.
But I think equally, and absolutely they can, but
really dominating, controlling horses as well. That's another thing that can come out.
Yeah, definitely. But I think it's having the other side of that is having that sense of that we are being responsible for ourselves, and to take from them in terms of being in our own body, how they communicate non-verbally, all of those things are so useful, but really owning that for ourselves, because it's kind of like the incongruence piece, isn't it? So if you're, what I was saying earlier about bouncing on the yard, everything's fine, but actually it's not, and they just see straight through that, don't they?
Yeah, they really do.
So that is such a important tool, I think, we can take away with for horses, and obviously the work you do with people as well is vital, isn't it?
It's what you see in yourself. We say horses are a mirror, or they reflect about you, but it's really every moment it's what do you notice about yourself, and how can we improve and get better connected to ourselves, better understanding to ourselves, because when those elements are there, then we can have a better relationship and better understand everyone else and horses.
It can completely filter into all aspects of your life, can't it?
And I think we were also exploring this idea about earlier in another conversation about being in the moment and also slowing down.
Yeah, that's a big thing we can really take from horses, isn't it? And I think we try and, going back to anthropomorphizing, the word we can't say, that idea that we bring our human, busy lives, everything going on, boom, 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 and then we roll that into the field or the yard and very often that energy, that sort of intention creates a lot of the problems, in inverted commas, that we then experience with how we're handling our horses.
Absolutely.
So if we can find that piece of just stepping it down a few gears, breathing,
and just simple somatic exercises. I mean, I always try and do a check-in with your body, just to see and notice what's going on with you before going out to the horses. It's so tempting to just quickly get a halter, get out, or even rush. If you're going to work, get in the car, quickly go into drive mode, rather than just having even a 2-second breathe down your body. How am I feeling inside? What's happening? And it doesn't matter how that shows up. It's just meeting that emotion and really feeling it fully. Because whether it's anxiety, fear, vulnerability, whatever's showing up, it's meeting it. It's when we kind of get away from it and we don't meet it and we kind of sweep over it, then it kind of comes back to intensify, and it starts affecting us. And we're not kind of in our truth. Because we're not being body centered. I mean, we talk about mindfulness, but for me, I think it's really
being in your bodyfulness. I always try and almost imagine I'm pulling a balloon down, because I'm really, I can really, and I've had things like car accidents happen when I've been so out my body. I've not done what you just said, done the body scan. So now when I feel myself and it's a bit, it's a nervous system thing, isn't it? So you're getting up into your flight system. So I try and sort of pull my balloon down, pull my back into my body. And I think when we do that, the the horse and talking about what they teach us, I think it's that awareness, that dialogue then, that like, oh, Emma is actually in her feet and she's in her body and she's not freaking out over there, so I'm not going to freak out either. And I think...
And that's real, or being authentic to me. Yeah. You know, it's seeing what's going on inside you. Yeah. And then seeing what's going on right now. Yeah.
Which helps you with your horses or
in everyday life.
Yeah, absolutely. Fab. Wow, that's such a... Well, I think we could talk about that for hours, couldn't we? It's such a interesting topic for all sides of life.
And it's so important as well. It's so overlooked, it's so vital.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. One we'll maybe have to revisit again. Thank you for listening to the Horse Connection podcast. We've really loved having you here. For ridden and groundwork coaching, connect with Emma on socials at Another Way Equestrian. For therapeutic horsemanship and emotional coaching, connect with Natasha at naturalwithhorses.com. So until next time, may the spirit of the horse be with you.